sorry I'm a little late. Technical difficulties, you know how it be. The general plan for this whole stream solid.
Good, it should be back now.
Alright, I'm gonna make a little bit of an announcement that I'm really cool and like swagger. So gonna start right here. Ah! What up? Sorry. Alright, so Kotlin is pretty much a different version of Java that's a little bit cooler. So it's what works with Compose, the library that I'm going to be sharing with you. Compose is the library that we use to create our scouting app and our scouting server, because it's cool like that. And it's generally just an easy way to create Android apps. Side note, C++ and Java are generally what I'm going to be going over because that's what I like connecting to. It's more going to be focused on Java because that's what our team programs with. But generally C++ is pretty close to the same thing in the fact that they have like inline functions, are object-oriented, and stuff like that. Alright, my epic plan. I'm going to introduce IntelliJ, because IntelliJ is cool. That's what this little icon is for. I'm going to talk about the changes from Java to Kotlin. I'm going to talk about the Gradle changes. You can kind of negate those if you really want to. I'll probably tell you how to do that. Right, Asher? You can negate like the Gradle changes by choosing Java Gradle. Or am I going crazy? Okay, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm going. Yeah. So I was thinking they could do the same thing, but backwards. I'm going to show you how to set up compose on IntelliJ, and I might try and work it out with you guys if you have something different. Then we're going to go over Apex, which is a different library, works in conjunction with Compose to switch switch screens, not slides. And then I'm going to go over all the cool little things that you can do. And then, little side note, data transfer, 3 different types: USB, QR code, sockets, pros and cons. I don't have them written down on the slides. I might have them later. Kotlin. We're really cool with Kotlin, all right? I'm pretty sure there might not be anyone watching, but who cares? All right, so like Java, there's final kind of things that we call vals instead of final variables because they don't change. So constant equals 10 would mean that this variable will always be 10 and there's nothing changing that. Then we also have variables like your normal little thing. But something cool about Kotlin is that it's dynamically typed, meaning that you don't have to declare the type beforehand, but you do have to say what type it is. So if you had nothing here, then you would have to keep this string part. But generally you don't have to if you have a value being passed into it. Terminators. As you can see in this previously shown example, they don't have little semicolons. That's different from Java, and it's really cool. You can still have them, but it's 99% of the time not necessary. Loops time. I would like to invite my little friend down there called Jacob. No? Loops. It's pretty close. It's 4 each loops.
Okay, sure.
All right. Man in the stands, coming down from the land, you know? Yeah!
Boom.
Ah!
All right. Create a for loop time. Are you just gonna leave me?
Yeah.
Okay. Create a for loop. Basically, it's number in order to, error in between multiple numbers. And these things right here, these greater than or equal to signs, you actually don't type those out. So it's actually just 0 or whatever number you want, which is your starting number, which is what I starts at right there. And then your ending number, or a 10, as we have right here. And then a dot dot between those two. Again, don't type these greater than or equal to signs. It does it for you. And then, print line. You know that. Yep, we can also do this little thing right here. I in 6, down to basically English 6 down to 0. It goes from 6 down to 0. And then we have a step 2. That basically means that it goes down from 6 to 0 in increments of 2. So, 6, 4, 2, 0. Pretty simple. Oh, there's the output. Yep, I was right. All right. Next. I didn't make this slideshow, so I don't know what's going on. Oh. All right. Yep. Another thing. If you want to go through an array, for I an array, we created the array up there. If you want to make an array, you do array equals, or array, whatever you want to call your array, equals array of, and then you just make your array right there. Very easy. Then we have a function right here, main for I in array. This I in array right here basically just increments through the array, goes, checks out 0, 1, 2, etc. And then it just prints each of those out. And then we got, so this function up here, actually, it's going through I. So this I right here represents 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 8, 7, and 6, depending on, which index you're on. Which, if you want to get the index that you're on, instead of doing this up here, you actually do I in array dot indices. So now you're getting the actual index right there, and then this print line array, and then what's that called? Square brackets?
That's, yeah.
Square brackets.
Square brackets, yeah.
Yeah. And then these square brackets right here, getting I, that's the index. What? Okay. That's the index, and you're getting, it's doing the same thing as it does up here, except we're getting the index and plopping it into the array. Ben's okay, he just fell. Oh, I have pencils and stuff, that's cool. Oh, whoops, I hit another, that's fine. That is basically the same thing that I just said up there, except you get both the index and the value of the array, instead of just, just the index or just the value in your array. Another thing you can do with for loops, there's a lot of things you can do with for loops. I also have note cards. They have nothing on them. I should stand out of the way. So, and then we have, oh wait, no, you can see. They can see, right? Yeah, okay, they can see. And then right here, we have array.forEach, basically just goes through the array, just like we did with all of these three right here, in a different way. There's a lot of different ways you can go through an array in Kotlin. And then IT, have you gone over IT?
Not yet.
Okay. What?
Who cares?
I don't know.
It's a lambda, though.
Yeah, exactly. So we do array.forEach, just goes through this array right here, very simple. And then this IT or it basically just references these values within the array. Ben's coming back in.
All right. Thanks, pal.
Yep.
I'm going to go over lambdas real quick because
Absolutely.
of this. All right, so
Have fun.
pretty much what you could do is you could write IT, and you could have a little bit of an arrow, though it's not needed for this one. But it's pretty much saying that this value is being returned for each of the times this lambda is run, right? Pretty much. That's pretty cool. Snazzy. Repeats. Repeats are pretty easy to understand. You did them in block code, if you ever did block code. But pretty much it just repeats a line of code however many times you say it's supposed to repeat. Just tap that on accident. Whoops. Anyways. So what? Yeah? What up, chat? Hey there! How's it hanging, gang? Just like type restart if you want me to restart, because I have been talking to like pretty much no one. Then you have a top level function, which is just a function outside of the class that can be referenced anytime. It's like a public function, but this one is outside of the class. Crazy, I know. Throw you a marker? Alright, I'm chucking you a brown one! Alright, cool beans. Next one. Boom. I forgot what this was about. Now we're just gonna skip that slide. Alright, so forget the fact that this is a different theme. I'm actually gonna slip over here. Pretty much, this function, as you can see, doesn't have any new statements in it. Because in Kotlin, when you're making an instance, Kotlin's really cool and doesn't really care about like the whole fact that you have to say that it's an instance. It's really cool and overly goated. True facts. Bah. Classes and extending classes and interfaces. Extending classes, boom. So pretty much what you have to do is, still don't know what happened to my pen. Pretty much what you have to do for the class that you're extending, you have to say it's open to extension, and then you just kind of say that this is the type of class that this is. You know, it's not that hard to do. We'd use it a lot, especially in our scouting app. Epic plug. But yeah, you basically just have to use a semicolon to say what type it is. Well, the open thing. Public is default, and so you definitely don't need to write public like 30,000 different times whenever you want a thing to. What up? Who cares? Anyways, if you do type it in, it's going to be grayed out, especially in IntelliJ, the IDE we're using. Still have to kind of go over that with you guys, like how to install it. That's fairly simple. Generics. We don't use them that often, but they're really, really useful when they are used. Generics can be a very powerful tool, and especially if you know how to read them and use them. This is kind of just like an example, but imagine you had like a bunch of different like array lists that have different types, like cat and dog. Instead of having like these specific functions that have to go with each different animal, you can just have a generic function where you just say what, like you just have a generic type, in this case animal, array list T, then you can just use that type, in the reified means that you can use it, like the type in the if statements and all the different stuff that you're using it with. Inline pretty much states that a function can be changed or substituted using the generic. Wow, bunch of arrows. I forgot about the arrows. Generics can be either out or in, or both, I guess. But not both? Alright, my fault. Alright, we don't think so. If you want to look up if they can be, I can probably do that, but like, a generic can be out or in. An in has a generic that comes out, like that goes into it, and then out has a generic that goes out of it. Extension functions. Wow! These aren't Kotlin specific, but they're really, really cool, and I just want to harp on that. Pretty much you just extend a class, and then you do dot, whatever your name is, and then parameters of it, and this.
Update, they cannot be both in and out. They can only be either or.
Alright, they can. Surprised it's already been an hour, am I right? The volume isn't? Oh, nothing's working? Oh, it does work! Yay! Alright. For a second I thought an hour was just wasted, guys. Little silly. Let me out of here. New project. Then we're going to click on Kotlin. You do have to download this plugin, which you can do. Actually, we're going to Android. That's weird. We're just gonna forget about this. My friend, my pal. Why? Okay, we're going to close this project because I'm really cool like that. And IntelliJ opens up. We're going to go plugins, see what this little notification's all about. Ooh, Capuchin, update. Capuchin, yay! Projects. Okay. New repo. Okay. I may or may not have probably, okay. Not now. New project. Okay. Compose multi-platform. I'm literally tweaking out. I'm just gonna call this really cool workshop. Yeah, location sounds right. Artifact. All right, pretty much. Oh, I don't need space. I can't have spaces in the artifact. Forgot about that. Artifact is pretty much what it uses to say that this is the project, and it uses that in CAD. Configuring Kotlin language settings. Whoa, crazy. So everything code-wise is going to be in source, as you probably know if you're here. So I probably, yeah. Okay, I chose the desktop version because I'm really cool like that. Doesn't really change anything except for the fact that I can't do Material 3, which is, I'll get into that a little bit later. But, instead of material theme, I think, not material. Yeah, we're just gonna call it material theme because I kind of forgot. Instead of having that be where main is run, it's just right here in main.kt. So, material theme is pretty much where everything from the, we're gonna just like make sure that this doesn't move. That's what I was trying to avoid. Alright. So, you have your epic little app. It's really cool looking, right? Really snazzy. And then, to put anything in there, you need your material theme to hold everything. It's like the stage of JavaFX. Like I said, I was going to be referencing JavaFX a lot. This is our epic, really cool screen. I know, I'm just a true artist. But if I go back to the code, so pretty much window on close request equals exit the application. That's just gonna like close the app when it's receiving a close request. Honestly, don't know how that code. Like I haven't looked at the root of window or anything like that. So we just kind of use it. It's really cool. Still importing Gradle, which is kind of annoying because I can't show you all the changes. But if I would run this, actually, it's probably not going to work. But hi chat. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty snazzy, guys. That's pretty... Love it when everything turns red. Also just realized I don't have capuchin on. No! My heart. No! Alright. No, it isn't. It's not there. It's probably because I have to restart the IDE. Like, I tried to update it like 2 seconds ago, and then I didn't want to restart the IDE. I could go to the plugins, but like that's a little goofy. It's a little bit too much work for me. Like, Capuchin Icons is right there. Also, we're gonna have Macchiato, because Macchiato's better. Plugins, where are you? Alright, doesn't matter anymore. This is the Epic app. I kind of forgot switched. But if you click right here, it's going to display Hello Desktop. That's what that whole thing does because it's changing the text on click. Really crazy. Because it ran, I'm pretty sure all of these errors don't exist. It's just IntelliJ being a little bit silly. As IntelliJ do be. I'm gonna, yeah, see? All of them gone. I'm just too good at programming, guys. Whoops, wrong thing I did. Okay, we're just gonna like, I'm just too good at showing you guys stuff. Alright, so, I know I'm probably talking to no one. I know there's chat, like, all of them are impactors. So like, you know, I'm really cooking with this. Why do we use Compose? Because Compose is really easy and adaptable to many devices on Android. And like, it's also pretty, what up? Are you having trouble reading? Okay, anyways, Compose is pretty cool. It's pretty easy to understand. And it's adaptable to many different layouts of screens and devices. The one thing that we did not do was iOS, because iOS is stinky. It is adaptable to iOS, but it's kind of a long, hard, and difficult trail. Gradle and Toml, not that fun stuff. Toml pretty much holds all of your dependencies and all of the different like stuff about it. And then it can just reference it from there. It's having like this really long, arduous, horrible, stinky looking Gradle. Apex component, as I was talking about earlier, this is the library that we use. Apex is used for switch. Oh, jeez, I just lost my voice for 2 seconds. Apex is used for switching pages. Shove it in your brain. We're gonna come back. How to set it up is this epic, really cool link. If you want to look at that for a solid like minute and a half. Actually, I'll tell you. You better get this link into your search bar within 45 seconds. As soon as I start my epic timer. I know, I'm really cooking with this timer, guys. Go! You got this! I believe in you! Alright, you guys better have gotten this really cool link into your little search bar and looked at all of this stuff. Generally, don't know why I put that transition there. Apex, you're gonna want to look at the link a little bit into the future. I'm gonna go through all of this really quick, and I'm gonna come back and just like answer all of your questions, go through all of the actual like writing code and all that stuff. But first, I want to get all the core concepts down. Probably should have said that in the beginning. Basic structure of compose apps. This is generally, remember JavaFX, this is from my training slides, and that's why it says that, because I'm so swagger with. Anyways, so pretty much the scouting app, how we run it is we have a root node, main screen, and then we have a pitch page, auto tele selector menu, auto menu, and tele menu. We also have an endgame menu this upcoming year, because there's like a lot of stuff we had to cram into tele and auto. This is a little practice thing. It looks horrible on here and probably on the camera, so we're just gonna ignore this entire thing. Root nodes, technically this whole thing is wrong, alright? There are no real nodes in Compose. It's all kind of like strung together. But how we have it is on the scouting app, we have the main screen is connected to the root, pitch page is connected to the root, and auto tele selector menu is connected to the root. And everything else, auto tele and endgame, are all connected to the auto tele selector menu. This allows us to have a little bit of a little back to the diagrams. So you have your Epic app, and then what auto tele selector menu allows us to do is have a little bit of a bar up and at the bottom, and you have all of your content from these two pages switching on here, and so then you can keep like auto, undo, and redo all right here without having to like have the same code iterate through on both auto and tele screens. And it also allowed us last year to scroll on this while keeping the top bar at the top, instead of just like fading away into the near distance. I know how to talk sometimes. I feel like I'm going crazy. Like I said, going from JavaFX into it, wow. I am I see you, I see you. Thanks for the hundos. Thanks for the reactions. Really makes me know that you guys are there. Pretty much columns are your V boxes in JavaFX, and rows are your H boxes. That means vertical box and horizontal box. They have your actual boxes, which are really cool, and they're like your border pane. Where I'm actually going to use this one because I'm cool like that. Actually, I'm not going to use that one because there's a wire right there. Where's the eraser? I'm also going to switch colors because I'm cool like that. Boxes are like a tic-tac-toe board. Alright? Yo, Jacob, do you want to play some tic-tac-toe if you're available? Tic-tac-toe.
2 seconds.
What?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Alright. I am. I'm literally like so focused. So imagine this is your Epic box. You have 9 different sections for putting content. You have your center. You have your center start. Center end. Top start. Bottom end. Etc. So this is your center start end And then this is your top, center, bottom. I know, really cool. Really epic stuff. But that's generally how boxes go, because they're really cool. I'm actually going to drag you back because I don't have drawing abilities for some reason. So, columns, actually I'm not going to drag you back. I'm going to draw on this thing. So, pen. So, columns. I know this is a really beautiful drawing. Still don't know why that doesn't work. Make sure everything's attached and locked in. Pretty much a column goes from top to bottom, and rows go from left to right. And so you can have all of your content generally aligned to those two principles, or you can have it like a box. There is this one thing called scroll state, which allows you to do stuff with columns and rows. I'll kind of get to that when I get to modifiers, because modifiers are really cool. They allow you to do a lot of cool personalization to your apps. Modifier. See, I'm really. You know what? We're going back. Modifiers. All right. So there's this one thing called scroll state. Like I said before, but you can pretty much scroll up and down with a column and left to right with rows. And you can. I use that for on our pits menu. For photos, we have like a photo array or array of bitmaps that we export of the robots, and that allows us to like kind of visualize what the robots look like. There are also lazy rows and lazy columns. They're pretty weird, in my opinion, but they're also they're a lot more customizable. They're preferred. Yes, they are technically preferred, especially because they're like a lot more customizable to different devices. But generally, I kind of stick with columns and rows because they're a lot easier to stay with. Like, what? That did not work. All right. Whoopsies. Build context. I'm going to get there later, but I'll just say it right now. Build context is pretty much stating what the device's parameters are, in like the context of the build. Okay, widgets. In the JavaFX slideshow, I had a slide for every single widget. We called it widgets because widgets are a lot cooler than like interactable devices. But pretty much, I'll go through a lot of the basic ones right now. And I won't have them be just interactable. I'll have like text boxes, a whole bunch of stuff. All right. So we're gonna have like a whole row for buttons, a whole row for text. We're gonna have like a whole lot of stuff on this board. Okay, ready? Buttons. Big, beefy buttons. All right, so you have your regular old button. This is like the master class, or not master class, but like the main thing for buttons. It's pretty cool. I'm also thinking. Hey William, am I just like stuck in the corner?
Yeah, I can resize it and just
I know. I hate it. Ready? I realize I'm really quite small. All right, close enough. Watch. I didn't full screen it, but like I got close. So pretty much, you have your regular old button. You click. There's a bunch of parameters because everything is really just a function. But you have your on-click parameter, and then you have your content. Is the two main things that I'd say, other than like modifier, which is applied to almost every single possible thing ever, because modifier is cool like that. Then you also have an outline button. This allows you to have outlines on your buttons. I know, pretty crazy. Technically, I might also, like, side note, honorable mention. No, I don't have to spell out honorable mention. There's this one parameter called shape, and then there's this one really cool shape that there's one shape that is called a rounded corner shape, and it allows you to have rounded corners on your rectangles. Really cool. Another one I suggest would be a circle shape, which just takes out the side edges and makes it an oval. It's really cool. Use that one a lot for like, when I'm making UI, I kind of try and use the different shapes that I'm given in colors to represent different things. So this could be like next page, while this is like plus or minus a value. And that just generally allows you to convey a lot more through the UI than if you just like scrambled them. Or just use like rounded corner shapes. What is another thing? I feel like there's another button I wanted to state. Text button, that's what it was. Alright, text button. Text buttons are not just for text. I don't know why I even had these parameters out here. But text buttons aren't just for text. They're also for content. Such content could be like literally text, like hey. But you can do that with both of these. Text buttons are a lot more customizable with like images. Like you could have like a little landscape. Oh, I know, I'm just an artist. Artist at heart. That's a mountain. I know. He's a pretty cool guy. But you can have a lot more customizability with text buttons instead of outline or just regular buttons. You can also have outline text buttons. Whoa, we're getting deep into the freaking grass. There's so much freaking widgets. It's crazy. Don't know why I'm saying freaking so much. Yeah, I'm family friendly. All right. Yeah, that's probably gonna be better. I'm just gonna like pull up Android, compose. Compose library. You can have a lot of different, like you can search up pretty much all of your problems right here and get a lot of the solutions. There's this thing called cards, which are like columns or rows, but instead of having like them on the main screen, you have them on a little like movable pane kind of thing. And it allows you to have like what I tried to do last year, which was a dating website, but like for our robots. So you could say, this one's really good on its like rigidity, and then you can like it, or you can hate it. Either one. And I could list that out as all the ones that are good and all the ones to stay away from. Not that you should stay away from any robot. You should consider them all lovely. Alright, ready? We could have UI architecture. That's probably not going to be it, but touch and input. Honestly, honestly, I don't know how this is organized. That's a little silly of me. My fault. Just gonna continue. Custom composables, alright? I guess I only have one slide for that. So, back to the board. Back to the drawing board. Actually, I'm not going back to the board because that would mean I'd have to resize everything. Yeah, I know, it's fine. But like, pretty much, custom composables. What? I can draw in here, but it's kind of finicky. I don't know what happened to the pen though. I kind of left the pen somewhere. Don't know where. I did something. Oh, I literally left it over here. Whoops. Please say I can write. What the freak? Feels like I'm touching. Yeah, alright, so I'm just gonna use this side. I don't know why I can't. Okay, I was able to do this like 2 seconds ago, so we're just gonna mark it on it. Custom composables, pretty much, imagine you have like this one thing that's just gonna be repeated. Like what I had at the very beginning of my stuff was I'm out of frame. What I had was a number and then plus or minus, so you could have like amp for last year, and then you could have a plus or minus button. So pretty much you have, like imagine you had to repeat the same thing over and over again. It's like a function, but with UI. Custom composables just allow you to have the same thing repeated without having an absurd amount of code written out. So you could have the same thing but for speaker, and just have like the same code written out, but then you have different parameters for it. And then you have to, for that function, you just do fun, whatever, parameter one, or pretty much anything. Then you have to declare the type because it's not that crazy of a, Kotlin's not that crazy, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. So string, and then you have your curly brackets, but the most important part is that you have your at composable right above it. Alright, and that allows you to continue to do it through the UI. I just realized you probably can't see that through the giant part because that's on the screen. Whoops.
I'll make it bigger, I'll see it.
Alright. Okay, so this is the at composable part I was talking about, and then this is font, name, parameters, type, and then blah. I'm just gonna like close that. Sorry, Asher, you can like, yeah. Alright, switching pages, build context, the setup of compose app, multi-platform setting up, blah, 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 blah. This is our root node. It's kind of a lot. It's not really a node either, but we call it a root node. But it holds the build context backstack, which is the Apex component part coming in. It's basically, imagine you had a giant stack of tiles, like a stack of cards, right? And you can like put another card on top, or you could throw it off. But then once you throw it off, you can't get it back. So pretty much this nav target, parsable, this whole thing is pretty much stating that you can navigate to this and it's using the Apex component. I'm not the smartest on the Apex component part, but then you can use, when interacted, then you can go nav target and not use all these different cases, and then choose what page you want to go to. That's just generally how we do it. Then you have a backstack model, build context, visualization. A bunch of this stuff is like really technical, but it's once you do it, it's done. I know that's pretty crazy. Backstack, build context, nav target, blah. Multi-platform, it's a little bit more complicated than this, but like it's not that much. If I stand to the side, you can pretty much choose a folder and then create a new module that connects with the compose multi-platform part of it. And you can do one part is like Android version, which I'll show you in a sec, and then you can do one part is the desktop. Android app, really cool. Again, I don't know why it stopped working for me over here, but if I go, I know I'm really crazy. I'm really cooking with this one. Java class module right there. I don't know why it didn't. Alright, so now it's all of a sudden working because it likes me all of a sudden. But you can have Android version, and you can click like next. We use actually I'm going to go previous real quick. The API we use, I think it's I kind of forgot. It's all of the API versions are named after candy, except for QRS and SV2 because they're weird. I think we use upside down cake. I kind of forgot. Jacob, do you remember what type of API we use? Like the API version for Compose?
34.
34? Yeah. That's what I thought. What are you talking about? Cancel. I'm gonna retry. Alright, ready? New module. I don't know why this is really going crazy, but we're gonna come back to this later. Cause I don't wanna like just sit here in front of you guys and just like make it look good and work. Alright, back into the slideshow. Whoa! So using modules, you can kind of blend them together with your Gradle and stuff. Making things actually work. Android. So this is main activity, the thing I was talking about earlier when I said material theme, when I didn't really mean material theme. This is pretty much, instead of having main and then like a whole bunch of technical jargon, this is how we do it, and this is generally how it is set up throughout using Compose. But pretty much you have to override onCreate, do a bunch of stuff, set the content to be what you actually want it to be. Like I was gonna drag over the pink drawing that I erased like a while ago. But then you have to set the content to be the actual app. Just tell me when you want to break. Cause I don't want to break. Material theme. Edge says that material theme is a theming system built on the concept of material design in Compose. It consists of three main systems: color, typography, and shape. Provided by a simple composable function, material theme. This wraps all user interfaces, components in an app to provide similar visuals and behavior. My epic definition is material theme is a parent node of the UI, of the UI of Compose. So changing it pretty much changes all the global stuff. So if you change the shape of material theme, it's going to change the shape of everything. It's like the master slide in Slides, if you ever mess around with Slides, or PowerPoint also has like a master slide kind of thing. Data transfer, I'll get back to after I eat, because I want to eat, gang. to start it up again.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think.
I was talking about the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, is it just right there?
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Oh,
I'm silly.
oh, they're capturing all our audio right
Yeah, I know. It's pretty great. I'm back.
now. Yep. They, hold on.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Can't believe 800 people watched that reel and then was like staring me straight down in the face. Said, I'm not gonna watch you. That hurts. Anyways, we're getting back to it. Really, really, really fun stuff, guys. That's right. Data transfer. Information technology. This is especially good for scouting apps if you want to make your own. Because, you know, you kind of got to transfer data to actually view the total data. QR codes. Pros and cons. Pros, it's pretty easy to do. Pretty efficient. Not really, but it's pretty cool. It can just be a bitmap. Wow. And then you can just like transfer any amount of, not any amount of data, but cons, yeah, small amounts of data, but that's pretty good for like every other match or something like that. But a con about this is that it transfers small amounts of data, and the more and more data that you ramp up in, the harder and harder and harder it gets to like actually transfer that data. That's generally why we started to move away from it when we were making our scouting app. We started to work with QR codes because citrus circuits, do not listen to them. They're not enlightened. They're not enlightened, guys. All right. USB, just straight data transfer through physical. Yeah. It's pretty good. It can transfer like loads of data. You know what? We're just gonna LOADS with an underline underneath it. But it is surprisingly difficult for what it is. But another like con about it in my mind is that you'd have to physically attach every single different scouting device to a single device. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or however many. If you're like citrus circuits, 12. Sockets and Wi-Fi. This is the last slide, I know. Really crazy. But a pro of Wi-Fi is that it's like you don't have the real difficulty of having to like go through all 6 tablets individually, especially with our new system of using Koala. So you can really, Koala's our epic library that we use, geez Louise, in the scouting app and in the scouting server to connect, which is open source and public, and it's really cool, and you should like check out our scouting app and our scouting systems because we document everything. We're really cool like that. Not everything, but like we're going to document everything, hopefully, maybe. Con of Wi-Fi though, kind of a big con, is like it's pretty shunned by first, which is why you have to do it like at the very, very end of comps, during breaks, or literally anything in between that isn't a match. But generally, that's why we use Wi-Fi, because you can transfer lots of data, you can do it efficiently, you don't have to like sit there for like 30 minutes just trying to get it done, like QR codes. Any questions? I don't think we have any viewers, so I think we're done. We did it, guys! You got through my crash course! I'm not gonna run through because I can't run through without any viewers. If you want more, like and follow. Thanks, squad. We have one? We have one viewer, let's go! Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions, gang? No! I have one viewer and I threw!
What do you mean?
Are you okay if we get in the stream?
Wait, is the stream just on?
Total robotic. Hello!